If you're a Warhammer 40K fan like me, you're probably looking at the Steam summer sale and thinking there's just too many options to choose from. So here I am, to help you out. This is the list of the best 5 Warhammer 40K strategy games you can buy during the sale. You control Magus Dominus Faustinius and his Adeptus Mechanicus strike team on the Necron tomb road of Sylvia Tenebris. Everything here serves one purpose: extract data, eliminate threats, and secure ancient technology, all while managing cognition points, augments, and servo skill support. Missions are tight, tactical, and shaped by resource constraints. Combat takes place on grid-based maps. You're moving squads of ranged and close combat units. Each unit has modular capabilities: shots, overcharge, cloak, shield, diagnostics. Use charge to fuel abilities, but burn too much and you'll suffer burnout. Dead units, ruined missions. The strategy layer outside missions forces decisions too. You select relics and schematics, decide which units to enhance, balance your doctrine towards tech or brute force. You'll craft skills from schematics you recover. There's no diplomacy, no expanding territory, no frills, just a focused loop: mission, analyze data, survive, repeat. Graphically, the aesthetic is pure Gothic tech, dark, metallic, brooding. UI is clean, choices and outcomes visible quickly. It doesn't need flashy action to create tension. Units feel heavy, weapons feel powerful. Enemies are varied: Necrons, Admech heretics and others. Each requires a different tactic: mass firepower, target focus, flanking. You feel the crunch of limited ammo for powerful weapons and limited movement on tight maps. The game is on sale now. You're getting the full single player package with no filler systems. If your definition of strategy excludes empire building and tech trees, Mechanicus delivers focused tactical Warhammer gameplay in a solid consumable format. Gladius strips 4X strategy down to its most aggressive form. There's no diplomacy or trade or culture, no peaceful win condition. You pick a faction, drop onto a hex-based map and fight until everything else is dead. It's brutal, focused and completely in line with the Warhammer 40K setting. Everything is designed to push you towards conflict, not away from it. Each faction plays differently, not just in their unit roster, but in economy, infrastructure and tech progression. Astra Militarum relies on numbers, defensive buildings and overlapping fire zones. The Adeptus Mechanicus lean into research speed and tech combos, deploying units with situational upgrades that can turn a battle if timed well. Space Marines are elite and mobile but slow to expand. You'll win fights easily but struggle to hold territory. Necrons don't use food or influence, they rely on awakening protocols, a totally different production rhythm, and highly durable units that force a rethink of conventional attrition tactics. Every system, build queues, tech costs, resource types reinforces each faction's character without cluttering the interface. Combat is fully turn-based. Each map is littered with terrain features that can make or break your engagements. Forest cover, elevation bonuses, movement penalties. Positioning is key. There are no cover systems like in XCOM, but if you ignore terrain you'll bleed units fast. Cities are for decoration. You need them for unit production, resource gathering and tech research, but every city consumes upkeep and draws aggro. Build too many and you'll tank your economy. Expand too far and you'll trigger hostiles or enemy factions before you're ready. The AI isn't clever, but it's aggressive. Most difficulty comes from learning how to sustain momentum with your chosen faction. You're not racing for wonders, you're racing for firepower. Units level up, gain traits and unlock new abilities, so keeping them alive has long-term benefits. But units also cost upkeep and there's no room for dead weight. Build wrong and you'll feel it quickly. Since release, Gladius has added new factions: Tyrannis with swarm mechanics, Tau with mobile firepower and drone support, Chaos Space Marines with corruption and warp rituals. Each expansion adds meaningful depth without bloating the game, but the core version is still worth playing. You get 4 strong factions, a solid tech tree for each, and enough strategic variance to play multiple campaigns without repetition. Gladius knows exactly what kind of game it is. No distractions or padding, just hard, unrelenting 4X war where every turn is a decision about movement, production or destruction. If you want strategy without the frills, where faction identity actually matters and map control is earned, not given, you command a strike force of Grey Knights deployed across the galaxy rotting under the influence of Nurgle's bloom. This isn't an army management sim or a tech tree sandbox, it's squad tactics turn-based with a strong focus on momentum, battlefield control and calculated aggression. Each mission starts with a drop from the Baleful Edict, your strike cruiser. You land in devastated imperial cities, desecrated manufactorums, hive ruins, all crawling with cultists, plague marines and demonic corruption. Visually and sonically it feels like 40k. Heavy armour slams into metal walkways, chanting echoes through vox interference. It's full of atmosphere, but that doesn't come at the expense of gameplay clarity. You build your squad from a class-based system: purifiers, interceptors, apothecaries, justicars. Each unit has gear slots, psychic abilities, and unique traits you can develop over time. Tactical options are broad: teleport strikes, warp-fueled area attacks, parries, knockbacks, overwatch zones. Line of sight and elevation matter, but so does enemy mutation. You're constantly rethinking your approach. What makes it different is the warp surge mechanic. As the battle continues, the warp grows unstable. Random events escalate the danger, new enemies drop in, abilities get locked, debuffs start to stack. You can't turtle or stall, you're pushed to act quickly and decisively because stalling makes everything worse. Outside combat you make shipboard decisions, repair damaged facilities, research plague strains, intercept outbreaks or let worlds fall. It's not about empire building, it's about managing limited options under constant threat. You're always reactive, always outpaced, always dealing with the consequences. Boss fights punctuate the story, each more chaotic than the last. You'll face massive demon engines and corrupted champions, each demanding precise positioning, ability coordination, and ruthless focus on objectives. Demon Hunters is discounted now, with its DLC adding more classes, enemies, and mission types. It's a sharp, aggressive tactics game with clear feedback, tight systems, and no wasted motion. If you want a 40k title that captures the tension of elite warriors holding the line against rot and ruin, this one earns its place. Battlefleet Gothic Armada 2 puts you in command of massive void ships tearing each other apart across the stars. This is real-time strategy at capital ship scale. The pacing is deliberate. These aren't nimble units darting around a map. They're kilometers long with armor plating, multiple weapon decks, and the turning radius of a dying star. Once you commit, you're in. Maneuvers take planning, retreats cost blood. Every broadside, boarding action, and ramming maneuver is a bet you place with momentum already behind it. You get access to almost every major fleet in 40k. The Imperial Navy is methodical, with strong firing arcs and survivability. Chaos fleets favour long-range precision and warp-based trickery. Tyranids are organic monstrosities that close distance fast and tear through hulls in melee. The Aldari rely on hit-and-run patterns with hollow fields and superior speed. Orcs just charge, ramming, boarding, firing at anything in reach. Necrons don't play the same game. They teleport, they ignore attrition, they rebuild while you're still trying to turn. These aren't reskins, each faction changes how you read space, time, and distance. The campaign is split across 3 factions: Imperial, Necron, and Tyranid. Everyone plays differently. The Imperium gets traditional sector control, political interference, and ship recovery logistics. Necrons revolve around awakening protocols and control of ancient artifacts. Tyranids function more like an infestation: spread, feed, consume. The map layer is turn-based with fleet movement, construction, story missions, and randomized events. Ships persist across battles. Lose one and it's gone unless you reload. Named characters can die, systems can fall. You're not just winning skirmishes, you're managing a slow-burning war across space. Combat is where it all comes together. Every ship has multiple systems: engines, weapons, decks, scanners. Each can be targeted and destroyed. You rotate ships to keep damaged flanks out of line. You issue repair commands, launch boarding pods, fire nova cannons, deploy stasis bombs. Crew morale matters. Mutinies happen. If you're not paying attention, you lose a cruiser because it turned 2 seconds late or exposed its engines mid-turn. The controls are precise and once learned give you full tactical agency. You're never watching a fight, you're directing it second by second. Visually it sells the setting completely. Ships look like cathedrals with reactors. The scale is massive, but the camera work and UI keep it readable. Every explosion, every critical hit, every emergency warp out feels like a beat from a Black Library novel. No overblown cinematics, just clear, heavy visuals that match the weight of every decision. Right now, Armada 2 is discounted. You're getting 3 campaigns, full fleet customization, a competent skirmish mode, and multiplayer that still sees activity. The battles are long but never bloated. The systems are deep but never obscure. If you want space combat in the Warhammer universe that's more than just ships firing lasers at each other, this is it. Big, brutal. Battle Sector is turn-based, grid-based, and completely locked into the 40k tone. There's no genre blending here, no tactics-like conveniences or abstracted economy layer. This is squad-level combat where unit roles are strict, mistakes are punished immediately, and success depends on tight battlefield control. It's not trying to be clever, it's trying to kill you, loudly and without apology. The main campaign follows the Blood Angels as they fight back against the remnants of a Tyranid infestation on Baal Secundus. The story is fully voiced with named characters, political tension within the chapter, and a coherent narrative arc that escalates across the campaign. You're not just ticking boxes, you're responding to a proper war zone. Between missions, you expand your roster with new units, unlock war gear and assign support abilities. It's all about what you take into battle and how you use it. Combat is built around the momentum system. Units gain momentum by acting decisively, moving, attacking and killing. That momentum can be spent immediately on bonus actions, charged abilities, or buffs that turn the tide of battle. It's a smart risk-reward loop. You're encouraged to push forward, chain kills and control the pace, but without support or planning it backfires. Aggression without discipline is punished. Every unit has a role and expected behaviour. Intercessors hold ground and apply steady pressure. Hellblasters strip armour. Assault squads with jump packs bypass obstacles and smash backline units. Dreadnoughts act as anchors, mobile fortresses that absorb fire while handing out pain. You don't spam, you deploy. You learn spacing, elevation, overwatch traps, and when to bait the enemy into overcommitting. If you treat it like a casual skirmish game, it breaks you. Since release, Battle Sector has expanded significantly. Necrons, Sisters of Battle and Orcs are now playable, each bringing distinct unit lists and rule sets. Necrons regenerate and phase through terrain. Sisters combine range purity and close range martyrdom. Orcs do what Orcs do, loud, messy and hard to stop. Skirmish mode offers sandbox army building and adjustable objectives. Planetary Supremacy adds a light strategic layer, capture zones, deploy forces, control the map. It's not campaign length, but it adds variety and long-term thinking. Multiplayer is tight, stable, and turn structure is fast enough that games don't drag. The interface is clear, damage is visible, chances to hit are shown. Nothing is hidden behind dice rolls you can't interpret. You get your numbers, make your decision, and live or die on the outcome. There's no ambiguity, no cutscene interruption, no filler mechanics. It's a battle engine that puts you in charge and gets out of the way. Right now, Battle Sector is on sale with all its DLC options available. You can stick with the base game for the full campaign experience or expand it with new factions and scenarios. Either way, it's one of the most focused, disciplined, turn-based 40k games available. No bloat or flair, just hard, tactical decisions, squad by squad, map by map, mission by mission. It expects you to think and punishes you when you don't. That's the list. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know in the comments, and if you really fancy, head over to our Discord and join the conversation there. I'll see you next time.